Now, I know you might already have heard the recent news about the divorce of Steph's parents, and as much as some people want to talk about the issue, we are not going to do it here since this is Hoop Reports and not TMZ. To liven up the mood inside the Curry household, we have compiled some of Steph's greatest playoff moments for your viewing pleasure, including some of the nasty ones because who doesn't want to see grown-up men get destroyed and humiliated live on TV, right?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Speaking of which, just check out this clip where he embarrassed not one, but two players from the Grizzlies. In case you're not familiar with the guy guarding Curry, his name is Beno Udrih, and after being faked out like that by the chef, I'm pretty sure you would forget his name just as quick. Anyway, the next guy that Curry did dirty in the same play is Zach Randolph, which I believe most of you are familiar with compared to the guy I just mentioned. We already know that Zebo is naturally slow, but Steph didn't care about that, of course, and put the sauce on him courtesy of a nasty crossover step-back combo. To make matters worse for this duo, Udrih did actually come back and contest Curry's shot along with Randolph, but it doesn't matter. The result was splash. But it doesn't end there. Two other players from the Grizzlies also suffered the same fate that Zebo and Udrih went through 5 games later. As Curry crossed the mid-court, he went for behind the back and laid out Courtney Lee like he dropped a coin while looking for it on the floor. This scene kinda reminds me of someone who loves to drop people for no apparent reason.
Check it on the referee, make sure he's okay.
After leaving Courtney Lee in the rearview mirror, Curry toyed with Kosta Koufos, just like what he did with Zebo, and hit him with a pullback dribble before hitting the wide open 3. When you zoom in, you can actually see Koufos put his hand in Curry's face after releasing the shot, which made the play even more disgusting for the two. Okay, enough with the Grizzlies, let's now move on when Curry destroyed Thompson. Nope, I'm not talking about Clay, I'm talking about Tristan Thompson. So, the incident happened in Game 1 of the 2015 Finals. Curry got ISO'd against Double T at the top of the key, and at this point, people should have called child services already because Thompson was about to get abused. Crossover, hezzy, crossover, and finally a step-back jumper. For a moment, Curry looked like Michael Jackson out there with that footwork. Meanwhile, Thompson, well, he kinda reminded me of this guy. Moving on, the next dude that fell victim to Curry's savagery also happened to be Thompson's teammate as well. The poor fellow's name is Matthew Dellavedova, and the embarrassing incident happened in the third quarter of Game 2 of the 2015 Finals. Coming up in transition, Curry pulled the break below the arc to assess the situation. It was clear that Curry didn't have the numbers here, but it's also clear that Steph does not care about that at all. So what did he do? He tried to bait Dellavedova into committing, but when it didn't work, Curry went for the behind the back, and this froze the Aussie like an ice statue while Curry drove inside for a layup saying,
"Hasta la vista, baby."
Now in this next highlight, Curry didn't actually humiliate a certain player, but from the looks of it, he single-handedly humiliated the entire Blazers squad in a matter of just 5 seconds. The crazy sequence happened in Game 5 of their Western Semis matchup against the Blazers. After a missed shot by Curry, Barboza got the offensive board and threw an errant pass to Curry. Instead of just letting the ball go out of bounds, Curry was able to save the ball by throwing it off from behind, which landed on the hands of Andrew Bogut. Curry momentarily got cut off from the screen, and at this point, the Blazers are up in arms and confused about what just happened. A few seconds later, Curry pulls himself back inside the court as Bogut delivers a shovel pass for an uncontested corner 3. After seeing this, there is no doubt that this play was clearly inspired by the famous Mafia line.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And speaking of the Mafia, did you know Steph once whacked one of the biggest killers out there in KD? In case you have no clue what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the time when they were still not friends yet. This one happened in Game 7 of the Western Finals in 2000s, and the very last game that KD wore a Thunder's jersey. When Draymond set a screen, Curry got switched facing KD. As the clock winds down, Steph went right, crossover to the left, hitting to go for a drive. When Durant anticipated the drive, the chef went for the step back, and despite the outstretched arms of Durantula, Curry dropped the high arcing three right on KD's grill. I'm not sure if this was the shot that triggered KD's departure from OKC, but I still have to consider this as one of Curry's nastiest highlights because he did it over a former MVP. From destroying a former MVP, let us take a look at these back-to-back plays when he embarrassed two Jazz players in the 2017 playoffs on their home court. It was Game 3 of their semifinals matchup versus the Jazz, and it all happened in the third quarter. After Joe Ingles' layup attempted got rejected by McGee, Curry got the ball and basically ran a shooting drill while making a fool out of Rudy Gobert. You know, the guy who won the Defensive Player of the Year award 3 times? The man known as the Stifle Tower literally just stood there like a tower in the middle of the court before realizing that Curry was just too fast for him. In order for you guys to have an idea of how fast Curry really is, here's a clip that demonstrates the speed discrepancy between these two.
Get to the backside of this jump. Andrea, hang in there. Thought maybe she might have got lost for a quick second.
In the next possession, Curry just humiliated Rodney Hood after making him fly with a hesitation fake coming off a series of screens. I mean, you have to commend Rodney Hood for chasing Curry like a robber from the neighborhood, but this doesn't mean that he can just go unscathed here with that nasty flyby. It's just so nasty that I can't help thinking about how Troy Hudson is doing right now. And you think that this was nasty? This is nothing when you compare it to the next dude who got floored so badly. You see, the Spurs' Dewayne Dedmon just got a putback dunk before this thing happened. Well, we could say that this was a silver lining for him, only to happen in reverse, because in the very next play,
throws it. Curry hesitates, drives, layup, it's good!
Sheesh. I don't know if Dedmon can get up from that one, literally and figuratively. Looking at the bright side of things, Dedmon appears only once in this video, unlike the next guy who is already making his second round, and it seems like he's the chef's favorite dish to cook all the time. Yes, it was Tristan Thompson yet again, and seems like Double T has a hard time getting away from Steph's highlight reels. It was almost like the same clip from earlier. The chef is grilling Thompson at the top of the key, tenderizing him like an Angus beef with some crossover and hezzies. Sensing that the beef is now ready to eat, Curry attacked the lane and served an acrobatic finish at Thompson's expense. You know what? Curry's ISO against Thompson actually has the same vibe when he pulled the same thing against the Beard in the 2019 playoffs. Now, we know that James Harden isn't a big fan of defense, but this one is still one of the impressive ankle breakers Steph pulled against the big names. After giving him the classic head and shoulder fake, Curry blows by Harden, attacks the lane, and finishes the play with the gorgeous off-the-glass jelly. Whew, that was sweet. At this point, we have witnessed Curry demoralize grown, bearded men with ease. But there's no bigger playoff moment than when he danced with the King in the 2017 finals. LeBron was known to be an underrated defender around this point in his career, but Curry didn't care and still did this thing against the King. In the third quarter of Game 2, Curry had a mano-a-mano with LeBron at the right wing. After several attempts in attacking the rim, Curry kept his dribble and looked to find ways on how to get around LeBron. That opportunity came when LeBron left his feet after Curry took a shot fake and drove to the cup for a sweet layup while LeBron was keeping in step with him the whole time. Man on man, was that crazy or what? Have you ever wondered though how or where the chef got his killer mentality? Well, I think I have the answer here in this video. The untold story of the chef, Stephen Curry, and the Mamba, Kobe Bryant. The late great Kobe Bryant and Stephen Curry have an untold story that goes far beyond what the media portrays, but perhaps a bit of that Mamba mentality rubbed off onto Steph. It's an insane story, guys. Click the video, watch it, enjoy it, and as always, I will see you on the other side.